Welcome to the tutorial for Castles 2, Siege and Conquest. This is the strategic map. Here we see the land of Britannia as we know it. Only one territory, the realm of Van, is known to us. The others, including those of our enemies and the Pope, are unknown. Icons at the top of the screen show the status of our empire. These are clustered in 3 groups. From left to right, these groups represent our ability points, our army strength, and our stockpiles. The wooden planks to the right are our task bars. The more ability points you have, the more you can get done at one time. You get work done by running tasks, which will be explained in a moment. The ability points are divided into 3 categories: administrative, military, and political. Administrative elements are color-coded green. Military elements are red, and political elements are blue. This color scheme is used throughout the game, on buttons, icons, and taskbars. The 2 numbers in each of the 3 color-coded groups represent the number of ability points not currently in use, on the top, and the total ability points available in the given area, on the bottom. Think of this as representing the fraction of total resources available for starting new tasks. Administrative skills include gathering resources and constructing castles. Military tasks include raising an army, attacking or sabotaging a neighbor, and building engines of war. Political tasks include scouting neighboring territories, spying, and sending diplomats to neighbors. The army includes 3 types of basic units: infantry, archers, and knights. Later in the game, you can also build catapults, siege towers, and other engines of war. Infantry are easy to recruit and important in attacking castles. They are best at hand-to-hand fighting or scaling castle walls. Archers attack from a distance with their arrows. They are most effective when firing from castle walls or from behind a protective shield of infantry. They are poor hand-to-hand fighters and tend to be ineffective in forests. Knights are the most powerful fighters. They are devastatingly strong in open terrain or against castle entrances, but they are very poor when in swamps and can be neutralized by focused archer fire. They are also expensive to recruit and maintain. The stockpiles contain 4 types of units. From left to right, these are food, timber, iron, and gold. Food is necessary to maintain an army and to keep the people happy. It is also an essential ingredient when building a castle. Timber is needed for archers, to manufacture their bows and arrows, and for the construction of siege engines. It is also used in the building of castles. Iron is needed for infantry weapons and for knights, as well as for castles. Gold is needed for everything. It greases the wheels of commerce and ensures that the army remains loyal. The wooden planks to the right of the strategic map are our task bars. These show what we are trying to do with our ability points. For example, they show when we are building a castle or recruiting new military units. Task bars are separated into 3 groups: administrative, military, and political. A maximum of 2 tasks of any given type can be done at one time. At the beginning of the game, only 1 of each task is allowed. Every action in the game is a task. To gain information about our neighbors, we can run a scout task. To attack them, we run an attack task. There are 4 gathering tasks, 1 for each of the 4 resources. Similarly, there are recruit tasks for every type of military unit. And of course, there is a build castle task. Tasks can be started in several ways. We can select an enemy territory and click a button to spy, attack, scout, and more. Or we can click on one of the buttons above the wooden door on the right and gather resources, send diplomats, or make our people happy, to name a few. For a shortcut, we can even click on the army and stockpile icons at the top of the screen. Each taskbar displays the ability points applied to its task, and a bar which represents the percentage of completion for the task. As more ability points are applied, the task is completed faster, or the resources are gathered more quickly. Plenty of shortcuts are provided for tasks, which are described in detail in the manual. For now, just watch and learn from this tutorial. You now know enough to get started. Let's play a sample game. Playing as Albion, we start in the territory of Van, shown by the yellow outline. We will try to seal off Normandy and Brittany in the upper left corner from enemy attack. Our neighbors will be Anjou below us and Valois in the upper right corner of the map. Anjou has few secure borders and will grab as much territory as possible. Valois will secure his corner and expand aggressively toward us. Always scout first. Our first scouts show our immediate neighbor to the south to be the Pope. Be glad that we looked before attacking. Anjou is on the far side of the Pope, so we are safe from him for now. The first visitor to our humble abode is a papal messenger requesting a donation. The Pope is the key to winning the game, so we must make him happy. But we can always try to haggle first. Unfortunately, this time we gambled and lost. We got off to a quick start and built an extra archer unit. We are now attacking Rouen in an attempt to reach Amiens before Valois gets there. Notice that the taskbars are always busy. In particular, we are gathering plenty of wood, which can be traded later if we need something else. We are also scouting constantly. We now know that we have everything that we need in our neighboring lands, if we can get there in time. Keep your people happy. Happy people are much better warriors. We want to reach a happiness of 9 as soon as possible. We are now ready to attack Rouen. We click Proceed and enter into battle. This is the tactical screen. It shows a close-up of a large area of central Rouen with its small band of brave defenders. Our units are in blue. Our opponent, being the defender, has chosen a position deep in a forest. Our archers will be less effective there. We split our forces into 2 squads, which will charge toward the center and attempt to crush the enemy flanks by drawing them into a 2-front battle. We click the Begin button. The battle is on. After a few moments, the enemy is drawn in 2 different directions, and one archer at the top is by himself, unprotected. Here's a useful hint. At any point in the game, holding down the right mouse button will speed up gameplay. Our brave soldiers on the southern flank came under heavy attack. The enemy infantry wiped out our infantry. Fortunately, our archers' deadly fire has helped us eliminate all but one of them. Up north, our infantry sweep downward, dispatching enemy archers with their overwhelming hand-to-hand strength. We won, at a price. Defenders of neutral territories are vicious fighters and almost always fight until none remain, since they are defending their native lands. Back on the main map, a new territory has been marked as ours. Our conquest of Britannia has begun. The truly brave adventurer may wish to take control of the game now. To end this tutorial and begin playing this game of Castles 2, click the play button. Otherwise, click Continue to move on to the next phase of the tutorial. Our first task was to rebuild our army and press onward to another territory. We now have 3 infantry and 4 archers and are starting an attack. We have scouted our target and it looks free so far, but it is close to Anjou's lands, so he may be interested in its gold if he does not have any nearby. Notice the taskbars and the number of free ability points in each of our 3 areas. We are using every available resource. Also, notice that our administrative level has risen to 5 and our military level to 4. We are now about to attack Maine. But wait, something is wrong here. This territory is not neutral after all. Even though we scouted it only moments ago, our information is already out of date. Anjou beat us to it. This will not stop us, however. Onward to battle. So much for the army of Anjou. He is hopelessly outnumbered. In this battle, we see our 4 archers and 3 infantry units doubled, and see Anjou's 1 archer and 2 infantry. Be careful when evaluating his apparent weakness, however. Anjou actually has 2 archers and 4 infantry, but only half of those forces are available for his defense. If he attacks us later, we will have half of our army, and he will outnumber us. Medieval battles were often bloody. Our forces automatically took up an effective formation and closed for the kill. As predicted, we made quick work of Anjou's forces. Once again, you may take control of this game or continue with the tutorial. To take control, click the play button. Otherwise, click Continue to move on to the next phase of the tutorial. Now that the initial borders of our empire are set, we must secure our lands by building a castle. This will protect us from invaders and suppress the natural tendency of our people to revolt against us. We will build a large castle, so that both this territory and those surrounding it will be safe from revolts. A smaller castle would only safeguard this territory and not its neighbors. But we must first build up our cash reserves. We are building reserves for our first castle. Thanks to clever planning, we are using resources at top efficiency. We have deliberately de-emphasized our military tasks. We need to save money and resources. Now we design our castle. To visit the territory, we simply click on it, move to the territory status display at the lower right of the screen, and click the Visit button. Now we choose a site for our castle. Click on the Design button. We can either design a castle or load a previous design from the disk. We must first place our keep, designated by a waving red flag. The keep is the command center of the castle, its lord's home, and the last bastion of defense in an attack. Our design is similar to Beaumaris Castle, a simple yet effective design rated at 109 points. We could have reviewed the castle plans in the design book on this disc, reading about their advantages and disadvantages. They offer historically accurate advantages, such as increased happiness or impenetrable gatehouses. We are now ready to build a castle. Clicking on Rouen after returning from the design screen, we find that a Build Castle button has appeared. Clicking on the Build Castle button, we allocate every available ability point to the task. Now we want to conquer the territories which we sealed off earlier in the game, so we can double our acquisition of gold and gain the food needed to feed our troops in the fall. We have therefore started an attack task against Brittany. You may now take control of this game if you wish. To take control, click the play button. Otherwise, click Continue. Let's take a quick look at our relations. We have very few friends. Perhaps we should begin acting like good neighbors, at least for a while. Making deals with diplomats can help prevent attacks against us. Always plan ahead. If we had not obtained gold well in advance of payday, we would have lost an archer now. As it stands, we now have just barely enough to pay the troops. Let's attack Brittany. It's a rout. We'll press the right-hand mouse button to speed up the playback until we return to the main map screen. Sadly, all is not well in our kingdom. A routine look at Vannes has revealed that the inhabitants are on the verge of revolt. We are fortunate to be building a castle in the neighboring territory of Rouen. But will it be completed in time? Valois is attacking us in Maine. We were too slow to send diplomats. Now we'll pay the price. We will attempt to leave our enemy bogged down in a pond while we attack from safe and dry ground. This should allow our archers more time to do their work. Even if we lose this battle, we might do some damage to the enemy's forces. We are seriously outnumbered. Our only hope is to attack, do some damage, and escape before we are completely ravaged. There is no hope now. Our infantry have been lost. Our archers are no match for the enemy infantry. You may now take control of this game if you wish. To take control, click the play button. Otherwise, click Continue. Despite our recent unfriendly activities, Valois wants to make peace, and he is willing to haggle. He must think that we are a threat to him. Our castle in Rouen is now complete. All of our territories, except Brittany, are safe from revolt. In addition, we gain doubled iron production, which we now need in order to rebuild our army. Now we press on to Normandy. Once again, it's a rout. You may now take control of this game if you wish. To take control, click the play button. Otherwise, click Continue. Our diplomat failed in his mission, but at least we tried. A saboteur has visited us. Probably from Valois, this evil fiend damaged our vital castle in Rouen. Now it is no longer able to protect us from revolts in its neighboring territories. Rather than repair our first castle, we will construct an entirely new castle in Brittany. Brittany is a marshland. The entrance of our castle faces into the marsh, leaving attackers vulnerable to our archers as they plod through it. Once again, we survived paying the troops, but only because we planned ahead and stockpiled more than enough to feed them. Note that we only have 3 grain. A saboteur arrived moments ago, hoping to weaken us by attacking our grain stockpiles just at our weakest moment. Luckily, though, we had stockpiled 1 extra grain, and our army is not in danger. This is the end of our tutorial. To take control of the game now, click the play button. To exit, click the done button.